Sukuyanade. This is an update from my channel. I apologize for not being very active, but current circumstances along with personal issues have made it difficult to make videos. However, I don't intend to abandon this channel. However, there will be more coming soon. I plan on having at least a few videos out before fall, and then I hope to make videos regularly after that. So anyway, on to the topic I want to discuss in this video is syntax. There's a lot of confusion that arises on the subject, as resources aren't very clear. To begin with, Karen Travis, the creator of Mando'a, has stated along the lines of word order, like English, is very important, but doesn't explicitly say which word order that is. Just that it's important, similar to how it's important in English. This vague statement has led to the interpretation that word order is like English, which may very well be the case since the language was constructed by an English speaker, but I find that unsatisfying given examples of word order in the language. For example, in the Songs of the Republic Commando games made by Jesse Harlan, there's a very different word order from that of English, which could be explained simply as it being a song, the lyrics are arranged to fit with the meter. But even in phrases and word constructions that can be found in the dictionary, makes it seem as if Mando'a word order is not that of English. It doesn't help that a lot of the time words are omitted from the sentence entirely, but generally it does follow the word order that the subject comes before the object like in English, but the verb can be a little complicated. Also with noun adjective placement, and especially verb adverb placement, it isn't always like English. Most people will place it as if it is, however, adjective then noun. But seen in existing phrases, this isn't always the case. Sometimes it's even tougher when compound words are involved, because there might be even totally different parts of speech compounded into one word, and it can be the descriptor is on the beginning part of the compound word or on the latter part of the compound word. So it's pretty confusing compared to English, where you always know exactly where the adjective comes first and then the noun. And I'm not even mentioning when and where you're supposed to use infinitives, like should it be in English or should it be its own, like I can kill, which has no infinitives. If I translated that directly into Mando'a, it would be ni lisa kiramu, which would have no infinitives in that sentence. But that only really makes sense if you're translating it from English, I can kill. If it was any other language, usually the I can would be a regular verb, but then the kill would normally be an infinitive to kill. So in Mando'a, it would make a lot more sense for it to be ni lisa kiramur with an R on the end, which it would make a lot more sense if the language wasn't viewed through the veil of English. Which brings me to my point, if I even have one. This is more of a rant. But when it comes to grammar and Mando'a, I try to be as originally Mando as possible and avoid English bias. But mostly, it's only for my own private and more poetic lyrical works, because let's face it, when I'm speaking Mando'a to others, it's easier to go with what everyone understands, which is usually through an English veil. But if I try to speak with, proper Mando'a, they might not understand because it's a little more complicated than if they were just looking at it with English eyes. Fortunately, in my more recent interactions, this seems to be less of the case, and there seems to be more of an understanding of Mando'a without that English bias. And I hope that that can only go further, and so that we can make this language more of its own and less of, a conlang based on another language. And regarding that, community constructions and compounds, I hope, make it into common use around people so that we can expand the lexicon to have a, fully fleshed out language with conversations where you can say exactly what you mean without having to come up with, compounds on the fly. But that can't be done until we have, the basics down and we fully understand what the canon is to begin with before we start making our own. Once our community of Mando'a speakers is cohesive enough and all located in the same place, sharing the same resources, we can develop it further. But if we aren't all united under the same and share the same constructions, then each group of Mando speakers will develop incomprehensible dialects of compounds and constructed words, which would, be fine. But first, we need to have a strong basis before dialects develop. Otherwise, it might as well not be speaking the same language, because you'll have different compounds, different constructions that wouldn't make sense to a completely different group if you're not sharing the same, talks about what makes sense for this construction. Well, anyway, I think I've wasted enough of your time, and that this rambling rant was at least coherent enough. So anyway, I hope to see you soon in more videos. I love reading your comments. If there's any aspect of the language I can help you understand better, ask me below, and I can answer it in the comments, or even make a video if you request. I hope to make videos that are more than just a black screen with some white text on it in the future. So anyway, I hope you all stay healthy and strong, and hope to wish me.